Hi, my name is Tiffany Sumter,
I'm Cassandra Williams.
and we're here to do a presentation on reported HIV status to sexual partners. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about HIV. HIV is a virus that spreads throughout the body and attacks the body's immune system, specifically the CD4 cells, often called the T cells. The disease process destroys the body's response to fight off infections and diseases. If left untreated, HIV can spread to advanced stage of AIDS. The modes of transmission is through blood, but more specifically, the most common mode of transmission is through unprotected sexual behavior and shared IV needles. There is no cure for HIV, but with current medical advancements, people can typically live a long life with HIV. The ethical dilemmas that healthcare professionals face while working with HIV-infected patients is that the issue of maintaining patient confidentiality versus the professional's duty to warn sexual partners at potential risk for getting the virus. The duty to preserve patients' confidentiality is a moral and legal priority for all healthcare professionals as a duty to warn. Disclosing private information to a third party also breaches patients' confidentiality. So conflicting theories are confidentiality, safeguarding private information of an individual, duty to warn, which refers to the responsibility of a counselor or a therapist to inform the parties of authorities if a client poses a threat to himself or others, or an unidentifiable individual. Utilitarianism is another conflicting theory. It is making a decision based on the ethical behavior that promotes the greatest good and the least of harm. Current laws and regulation.
The state of Massachusetts has a law that prohibits the disclosure of HIV test results to partners. Massachusetts' law seems to care more about the patient than the partners, yet and neglects the partners. This neglect can cause further issues. A resolution to this dilemma would be to have the Massachusetts law amended to include partner notification, educating both parties, and providing counseling services. Optimum care should be to expand the life expectancies of both parties. A resolution to this dilemma would be to have the HIV positive people who are married to encourage them to include their partner in the result process. At the time, both parties can then go have brochures given and informational resources on how to prevent further spreading of the disease. Counseling services can be obtained at the time of visit to provide emotional and mental acceptance of the new diagnosis. Different forms of counseling services can include, but are not limited to, mental health therapy or counseling, relationship and marriage counseling.
The ANA Code of Ethics was written by nurses to convey the understanding of the professional commitment to the society and assisting nurses in developing their own practical ethical decision making. With saying that, the code is a new term that the ANA Code of Ethics used. It serves as a statement of non-negotiable ethical obligations and duties nurses are to follow in their nursing profession. The Code of Ethics for nurses with interpretive statements is developed as a guide for carrying out nursing responsibilities in the manner that consists with the quality in nursing care and the ethical obligation of the professionals. So the provisions that we found that were issued and probably should be amended was provision 3.1. One says protect of rights of privacy and confidentiality. It should be rewritten to include the disclosure of information in the event that non-disclosure can bring harm to another individual. Also, provision 8 includes promotion of healthy diplomacy and to reduce health disparities to all. Now, if this is something that's supposed to guide our nursing practice, how can we do that? Which brings us to my next question. How can a nurse aid in the reduction of health disparities by not participating in partner notification?
Utilitarianism's main purpose is to produce the greatest good for the greater number of people. In most states, California and Michigan have criminalization laws against people that knowingly spread the HIV, intentionally exposing another individual by having unprotected sex without informing the uninfected of their status. Approximately 25 states criminalize the spread of the virus.
The end. This is our references.
So what is your personal opinion about the whole HIV and reporting? Like, what's your perspective on it?
Well, I think, number one, I know it's other issues that come along with reporting HIV status to sexual partners. One is violence. The other party may be nervous that the person that's uninfected and they were disclosed the information could actually become violent because they could have possibly contracted HIV. Another issue is that, another good thing is that they have different institutes out here that will help, different programs, not institutes, sorry, that will help with partner notification. They'll go with you to inform the partner in a different way, just not the barbaric way of saying, yeah, I got HIV, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. It's an actual craft to it, and they have different people out here that can help you to do that.
And to piggyback off of what she said, the CDC has a program that's called Start Talking, and they basically have the help. They give the help to the patient that's HIV positive. Give them a form. They tell them, and then they pass on the information to contact either the person that they infected or whomever it was, the partners, and they just call them and let them know. They don't tell them any names or anything like that. They just let them know that they may have been infected and to go ahead and get tested for it. They give no names and nothing like that. So that can help as well.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies. Your information was very helpful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.